Hey everyone, Serena Starlight Witch here. I hope everyone's doing well. Before I get started, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would be extremely grateful if you did so. I'm working extremely hard on my channel, making videos, taking the time to do all this, and I would like to see it pay off a little more. I would like to see more support. So I'm very grateful if you do support me, if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So I'm just making a quick little video today talking about what you're actually paying for when you buy a spell. Most people think they're paying for results, and that's not the case. So this is what you're paying for when you pay someone to do a spell for you. First off, we have to prepare for your spell. At least I do, and I know most legit practitioners also have to prepare. We have to gather the supplies that we need for your spell. Sometimes we have to order stuff, and sometimes that takes time. We have to cleanse and protect. We have to give offerings. We have to ground and center. There's things we have to do for ourselves before we do your spell and after your spell. Because if we don't do those things, your spell is not going to work correctly. We have to ground, center, protect ourselves, our altar. Afterwards we have to do the same thing: ground, center. Make sure the energy was all done correctly, the energy work. And then we have to do your spell. And I always work with spirit. I at least always work with my spirit guides and ancestors. So I always give offerings. If I'm working with like Hecate or whoever else, I give bigger offerings afterwards. So, there's offerings involved. There are always offerings involved when you buy service from me. Every practitioner does things differently, but most kind of do it this way though. So yeah, you have to, we prepare after your spell, before your spell, and we have to do things after your spell. And, offerings. And then, we do your spell, and I do a lot of work for my spells. I do. Once I put it together and light it, I go all in. I chant, I commune with the spirits, I do readings, I push a crap ton of energy in the spell. I do a lot of energy work, a lot of energy manipulation. And yeah, it's like labor. I'm usually sweating and out of breath by the time I'm done with this spell. It's like going outside and running for like 15 minutes. So that would be considered labor. So have to pay for our time, our labor, the supplies. I use a lot of stuff in my spells. The candles have gotten pretty pricey. I use a lot of oils, a lot of herbs. That's why I usually charge quite a bit for my uncrossing spells. Is for one, they take an entire day to do. I have to give a lot of offerings, and for uncrossing spells, the ingredients tend to be harder to get and more expensive. So there's that. And then once your spell is done, the cleanup is ridiculous. Spells are very messy. I have to clean off the tray, wash the tray, and usually they have to be washed by hand, and there's a lot of scrubbing involved because the oils and the ingredients stick to the tray, and the altar has to be completely wiped down and cleansed, and it's a lot of work. So, before you judge a practitioner's prices, think about all this. They have to clean up the mess afterwards. They have to buy your supplies. They have to do the labor, the actual energy part of the spell. We have to prepare before the spell. We have to do things after the spell. In order to cast correctly and properly, there is a step-by-step process that you have to do. And you can't skip a step. You can't, I know everyone does things differently. I do my shit right. I don't have but anything. So yeah, what you're paying for is not the results. You're paying for our labor, our time, your supplies, your ingredients, and all the hard work and effort that we put into casting your spell. It's not as simple as slopping some crap together and lighting a candle. A practitioner who's legit, we have to do a lot of work to do your spell. That's why I've really been thinking about not offering services anymore, because for one, I have to charge a good bit of money, but I don't want to have to charge as much as I have to, especially because I know people are financially struggling, and it's a lot of work, guys. It would be easier to go get a full-time job than to cast spells for people. Even to be a professional witch for hire, we have to live a certain lifestyle. We always have to cleanse, we always have to protect. It's so much work, guys. It is exhausting work. In order to be a practitioner for hire, you do have to live a certain lifestyle. There are things that you have to do daily. It's not easy. And casting your spells, it is not easy. Like I said, it's like going outside and running. It's like working out all day. It's hard. It's not easy. There's a lot of work. Offerings and devotion time and prayers to the spirits and the cleanup, the preparation. It is a lot. So you're paying for that. You're paying for our time, our energy, our labor. And that's what the price covers, is all that. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for results. I'm not trying to brag, but every spell I do, I always receive some kind of results, big or small. There are a lot of reasons why a spell may not work. I'm going to have to make a video on that itself, because sometimes they don't work for lots of reasons. But I tend to see results most of the time from my spells. But regardless, you're not paying for results. Me personally, I try my best to make sure I do everything correctly. But after your spell is done, it's out of my hands. It is out of the hands of the practitioner that you hired. You and the practitioner sort of have to hope for the best, and that the results will come soon. It's out of our control once the spell is casted. Once I cast spells for myself, it's out of my control. Well, not completely. You do have to be positive. Your thoughts can greatly affect the results of your spell. If you're impatient, if you're negative, you basically screw up your spell that way. So there are some things that you have control over when it comes to seeing your results. Making good decisions, making sure you're doing your part in the real world, thinking positive. I also recommend, when I send proof of your spell casting, I recommend my clients, my customers print out that photo and meditate with it for 3 days, 9 days, like hold it in your hands and focus on, visualizing the outcome that you want inside of your mind. That helps, manifest it. I like to see my customers do some work on their end, not just me. When you and your practitioner work together, it makes it a lot stronger. So yeah, there are some things you can control actually, but there's only so much you can do. You kind of have to have faith and hope for the best. So you're not paying for results. I definitely think you should get results, but some things are out of our hands, some things are out of your hands. But just consider this before you buy a spell. And keep this in mind. Practitioners, we work our ass off, the real ones anyways, the legit practitioners. It's not easy. Before you complain about our prices, or you complain that you didn't see results, or you didn't see results fast enough, or how you envisioned it, keep in mind, how hard we worked. There are a lot of frauds and scammers, but when you're dealing with a real practitioner, keep in mind how hard we work, because we work our asses off. But yeah, that's what you're paying for, you're paying for our time, our labor, supplies, offerings. Like I said, there's a big mess after your spell is done, and I don't charge as much as I should. In fact, I've lowered my prices. My prices are cheap right now. I do plan on making them higher in the future, but I'm trying to keep it kind of low for now, especially because I know people are struggling. But yeah, that's why, spells are expensive. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not as easy as some people think it is. It's not as simple as lighting a candle, especially the way I do my magic. My magic, it is exhausting. It's so exhausting. It's just a lot, not even really exhausting, because I know how to pull energy in to keep energy in me, but it's a lot of work. It's just a lot of work. It is literally working a full-time job, like even working like overtime. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I just want to explain that. I feel like this is important for people to know. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and peace out.